Before we begin, I want to welcome you not just to this podcast, but to a space that was built from truth, from survival, and from the quiet power of speaking that once felt unspeakable. This isn't just another show, this is a sanctuary, a place where people share raw stories, where pain is honored, not hidden, where healing is messy, brave, and absolutely possible. Every voice you'll hear on this podcast carries its own storm. Some are still in the rain, some have found the sun, and all are here because they choose courage over silence. Sorry about my voice. This space was created to remind you that vulnerability is not a weakness, it's strength. That your story matters even if it still trembles when it's told. That one voice, your voice, my voice, and our voice can spark change, inspire healing, and shift the silence. So wherever you are right now, driving, walking, crying, or just breathing, I invite you to listen with an open heart. Take what you need. That was a phone call. Am I frozen? I invite you to listen with an open heart. Take what you need, leave what you don't. But know this, you're never alone. So let's begin it. Let's bring him up. My mods weren't doing their job. We need to put him in two big box side by side. Here we go. Welcome in. What's up? What's going on?
Nothing much. Can y'all see me?
No, all we see is the circle.
Oh, that's not good.
You can't. All right. My daughter's calling me knowing that I can't talk to her at the moment. Yeah, I got you. I don't know why. It's probably just TikTok for us. Okay. Yeah, we can't see you. You're still off camera. There he is. How you doing?
Takes me a minute. I'm getting up there in years. It happens. Not as good
definitely older than you. So, all right. Thank you for coming on here.
I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate that. All right, great. Now I'm all like squinty. Sorry. Just trying to get other things set up. All right, so I'm going to black out the screen. I don't know if you've seen that message, but I'm going to black out the screen, and then I'm going to read your intro, and then we'll start with questions.
Sounds good.
Helps with editing.
I got you.
Welcome back to the Power of One Voice. I'm Rare Soul. And tonight we're stepping into a story that doesn't hide, it doesn't sugarcoat, and it refuses to stay quiet. My guest said something that stopped me in my tracks. I am an open book, and as long as it helps someone. This is a veteran who carries PTSD, survived MST, lived through childhood and young adult sexual abuse, navigated trauma and inside BDSM community, and still found a way to stand tall, squared up with their own demons. A month ago, he started Voices of Veterans, a raw, unfiltered motorcycle riding project built from a dream, a loss, and a realization that time isn't promised to any of us. They've spent their life volunteering for vets, listening to stories that rarely get told, and now they're giving veterans something that they don't always get from the world: respect without pity, space without judgment, and the freedom to speak to someone who actually understands. This conversation is about pain, purpose, connection, and what happens when one vet decides, I'm done hiding. So let's get to it. Ooh, sorry about my voice. Okay.
And I blame the weather.
Well, so I have an older house. I have baseboard heaters, and my bed is like right above that.
Oh yeah, I
So it
know how
gets
that
really
feels.
hot and dry. So I have to open my window. And so the combination, it's been like 2 weeks now. I've been sick. So when you say I'm an open book, what parts of that is the hardest to open up?
I mean, honestly, it's really the only thing that limits me is what I can say on here, you know,
Uh huh.
and that's what I've done advocacy groups before with, survivors of abuse in the BDSM community. I've done PTSD type advocacy groups before. I've done childhood sexual trauma advocacy groups before, and I'm limited only by what TikTok allows me to say or what YouTube allows me to say, you know.
Right. Get that. When did you realize that hiding wasn't serving you anymore?
Well, with each thing or issue that I've been through, it's always a process, you know.
Yeah.
It took me until I was in my late 20s to really get comfortable talking about being sexually abused as a child.
Okay.
As far as like I came to the realization pretty quick with the sexual trauma behind what I went through in the community. I came to that one pretty quick, and I was always really willing to talk about it because I was really afraid that somebody else was going to get stuck and trapped like I was.
Right.
The PTSD thing from the military has been pretty easy to talk about. I've made sure that I surrounded myself with like-minded people and veterans and such. I've had some really good mentors. I've served with some really, really beautiful people. So
Awesome. What were you in?
I was in the
Marines?
Navy.
I'm sorry.
I was in the Navy.
Navy. What version of you were? What version of you are we going to be revisiting today?
From what I understand, you got some questions.
Okay. What's one truth you wish people understood about your journey?
Oof, that's a tough one. Um, that you can still live a beautiful life after this. Whatever you're going through right now, like this, it's still worth being here.
Okay. And what did holding on look like on your hardest days?
Holding on to trauma in
Mm,
general, oh, it's brutal. That's the type of shit that really makes you want to end it.
cringe.
You hold on to it and focus on it. After you talk about it, after you get it out in the air, once you get to where you can really tell your story to people, that's whenever you get freedom. It's
Yes.
changed until then.
I'm glad you said that because that's one of the things that I really hold. Vulnerability is strength, and it's I think it makes you weaker to hold on to it.
I
When
agree.
you're able to get to that point and you can discuss those things that happen to you, it's very freeing. It's kind of like not taking that accountability for somebody else's actions.
Right. It's like you're literally a slave to that person until you
You
can
let it
like
go.
deal with this, and that includes the military. I mean,
Yeah.
you will never like a lot of veterans don't understand, and we're not taught when we leave service that we're also leaving behind an identity. I served for 10 years. I mean, that's a huge part of my life. You know, my entire identity as a young adult, all of my 20s, I was in the military. I mean, this made me who I am. You know,
Right.
when I don't have that anymore, it's like you have to develop a new identity, and you can't do that. You know, if you're still holding on to all the bad shit the Navy that the military did to you.
Right. So, what originally pulled you towards the military service?
It was an escape. I came from. I call myself generationally poor.
Okay.
I grew up in very rural North Mississippi.
Okay.
Um, I had tried to venture out on my own. I had moved to Georgia for a little while, ended up coming back, familiarity and all that. I've been out on my own for since the day I turned 17. I've been out doing whatever I had to do.
Okay.
So from 17 to 23, I really kind of run amok. I started getting into trouble, got involved with some I won't say the wrong crowd. Um, I learned a lot of lessons in that community, but that's not a place where a young man really needs to be, especially one that's,
The
that's
accepting crowd.
years old. If you're in your 30s, look, I don't want anybody to think I'm knocking on that community. I'm really not. I mean, hey, you do what you do. You deal with your trauma how you deal with it. But
Right.
instead of most people, when they get into BDSM, they are using it as um, a kind of a way to deal with their trauma. I was brought into it without very much trauma. I mean, minus what happened to me as a child, but that's not really the same thing.
Right. Okay. How different is the story people think you lived versus the one you actually live?
I'm pretty open about most stuff, um, especially now. Um, I've discovered that like telling your story is really the only way that you're going to heal from any of this. That's me anyway. Some people can probably get by, I think, but I mean, I don't know of anybody that I really talk to that doesn't know kind of what I've been through, at least the majority of it. I mean, I tend to leave out the sexual abuse as a child is, in normal conversations, but my close friends know.
Right.
I'm pretty open about
What moment in the service changed you forever?
it. My last deployment, we went on the longest continuous deployment in naval history. I was basically gone for about 18 months total. We didn't pull in anywhere. It was basically being in prison and seasick for 18 months. We did 206 days consecutively at sea. We came back home to Norfolk. We were home for around 30 days. We did a weapons onload and went back out to the coast of Africa for the rest of the time. Basically, an entire another deployment within 45 days total of being
Wow.
home.
Why was that so hard? And
Well,
what was different about it that made it that
it
hard?
was actually really easy.
Mhm.
It's really easy to deploy. I mean, the schedule's hard. You don't get any sleep and all that other BS people talk about, but it's more. It's coming home. That's the part that messes you up because you get so accustomed to this way of life and the authority that you have. Anybody that has any type of rank anyway. When you come back home, now like this is where that identity problem comes in
Right.
because now I'm not on the ship. Now I'm not taking care of junior guys. Now I'm not doing small boat ops with these cool guys and shooting guns and doing whatever. Like I'm not doing all of this anymore. Now I have to remember to feed the dog at 5. Now I have to wash the dishes.
Right. So you can't be just bossing everybody around.
That's part of it. The other part of it is like these mundane tasks that you do don't have that. There's no glory in this. I was There's actually an audio clip going around of a guy that puts it pretty well. He says, I was supposed to die at war. I was not supposed to die a decrepit old man.
Mm,
There's no glory here for me. That's what I thought at the time.
that's sad. Do you know a lot of us that like feel like that?
Yep.
Wow.
I don't know. Most of the older ones are thankful to still be here. I really like interviewing the older guys, the Vietnam vets, Korea vets. God, if I could get a World War II vet, that's the holy grail for me
Right.
because those guys have figured out. They called PTSD something different for every war. World War One, it was called shell shock. World War Two in Korea, it was called battle fatigue. PTSD is just what the GWAT guys call it. You know, so that talking to those guys is how you figure out how they got through it. Like when they came home, a lot of them guys, especially the Vietnam vets, I mean, they got bricks thrown at them, they got spit on. I've known nothing but love every time I come home from a deployment. I've been on 4.
Yeah.
When them guys came back, there was no one waiting for them. Their families rejected them. Nobody wanted to talk to them. They didn't want to associate with them.
Was there a reason why?
Huh?
Was there a reason why they didn't want them home?
Vietnam was a very controversial war,
Yeah.
and it was one of the first that you could be considered that America lost. There were some really atrocious things done by some select service members that the media kind of took and kind of made it out like all those guys were doing that. There's a bunch of stories online you could read. It's pretty wild actually. But the media basically turned America against those guys coming home from that particular war.
Right. Okay. How did PTSD show up in your life before you had a name for it?
Um, a lot of drinking, anger. Was very. I got very self-centered around a lot of stuff. I stopped caring about other people, and I was really adamant about not caring what people thought about me specifically. That was kind of my coping mechanism. Was I can just get mad at you and you'll leave me alone. That turned
Mm,
into two simple assault charges, coincidentally. So mostly anger.
well, and what did MST steal from you, and what have you taken back?
I haven't taken much back from that. That's still something I'm currently working through. Military sexual trauma is, for those that don't know, is sexual assault by another service member. It doesn't have to be like it. It's really varied. Also, a new diagnosis and pretty hard to explain. But it's essentially, um, I don't know. I don't know what it took yet. I'm still kind of putting pieces back together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get it?
It's been seven, no, 8, 7, yeah, 7 years now.
Is it harder to get through that than it is the childhood sexual trauma?
Yeah, I come to terms with what happened to me when I was 11. I've definitely come to terms with that, and I'm square with it. Like time, time don't heal all wounds, but time shows you how to deal with things better. You know what I mean?
Right. How does it feel knowing your service story will never match anyone else's, even those who served beside you?
I think that's kind of the beautiful thing about what I do. Every story, everybody's service is completely unique to their own. Every service member, it doesn't. I got one guy. I literally served my entire career with him. He was on all three of the ships that I served on.
Right.
We went to boot camp same time. I didn't know him in boot camp, but when we got out of boot camp, we went to A school together. And from A school to my first command, he went to shore duty, and I got out for about 8 months. I had a small break in service. I came back in after 8 months, and he had gotten in trouble. He got sent to the next ship, and I got orders to that ship the same day, coincidentally.
Wow.
Like literally served my entire career with him, and he has had an entirely different experience than me. So it's all unique to the service member. You know, everybody's story that you hear, you'll never hear two that are the same. So, and I think that's awesome. It also kind of sucks because that's probably why there's so many issues with people getting the diagnoses they need from the VA.
Right, because they don't actually, they understand, but they don't understand because the situation is so different.
Right. Because every situation is so different.
Right. So, what still echoes from your deployment years?
Isolation. Um, it's an extremely stressful environment all the time. You know, it's 24/7. The ship never sleeps. And I don't want people to get it twisted. I was never in the sandbox. Um, I was a boat engineer, and that's where like my technicality came from. I did carry a weapon. We did have operations off the coast of Africa. We got into it with Somalian pirates and all that other stuff. But I wasn't one of the guys that was in like Fallujah or anything like that. That's not where my PTSD came from.
Okay.
But isolation mostly. It's like you're cut off. You miss birthdays. You miss deaths, last moments, families. You miss everything. You know.
Yeah.
We have it a little better now because of technology, but honestly, I mean, most ships, all the ships that I were on, were built in the '80s, late '70s, early '80s. Not a lot of technology there. We
Right.
had email. That was good.
You had to wait.
We had email.
Email.
Yeah, but it was kind of like that AOL email where it actually took,
The
around
dial up.
4 hours to send and receive one email.
Yeah. Okay. What do you say that civilians mostly misunderstand most about vets?
It's a lot, actually. Um, I don't think I could pick just one thing.
Okay.
If I had some advice to give, I would say, um, don't assume that like all PTSD is the same. Like PTSD is PTSD, but like I was talking earlier, like I don't have PTSD because I was in Fallujah kicking doors in with Marines. You know what I mean? It's like kind of be wary of the questions you ask some of those guys or the Vietnam vets or whoever. It's like some of them did some pretty fucking wild shit. And a lot of those guys really aren't ready and don't want to talk about it.
Right. Okay. Well, if there's anything on here that you don't want to talk about, just say, I don't want to answer that question.
I got you.
So we're going to move into like trauma and survival and how young you were when survival came your default.
I'm the oldest of four. And like I said, we were generationally poor. I was pretty well left to my own devices for a lot of my life.
Okay.
Um, Survival was something that we really learned early because we understood that my family didn't have enough money sometimes to put enough food on the table for everybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we wasn't gonna have no sleepover because we didn't want nobody to see that we had holes in the floor.
Right. I get it. What did early sexual abuse teach you and unteach you?
Uh, I was sexually abused by an older female cousin at 11 years old. Um, it taught me that there's not a lot of people that it taught me that a lot of people are good, but not everybody.
Okay.
And family is family, but family only goes so far.
Ain't that the truth? I think most of us were sexually abused by family.
It seems like it's always family.
Yeah.
Rare cases when it's not. And that's
Yes.
a really disgusting thing.
Right. How did the BDSM community shape or complicate your healing?
Um, so when I was, well, 17, about to turn 18, I moved in with two women in a small town in North Mississippi called Pope. I won't name them here for obvious reasons, but they had lost their dom of they were older. They were um, 38 and around 45, if I remember right. They had shared a dom, and he passed away in a motorcycle accident. And he looked, and it's really crazy. I still have a picture of him in my box in there. And the older I get, the more I see it. Like I look exactly like this guy.
Oh wow.
It's crazy. It's uncanny.
Like your doppelganger?
Yeah, I think I might be his doppelganger. He was
Yeah.
old. Anyway, they were pretty popular in the community at that time. People traveled. They had scenes that were 70, 80, 90 people. I was not the star of every scene, but I was the star of many of them. It's I feel like in a way it kind of did help me to learn like different stuff about my sexuality personally. The way they went about it is what caused the trauma eventually, though.
Okay.
Putting by the time they participated in what they humorously called the Build It On program, so they took me on as a sub to eventually make me into their dom. And putting the responsibility of a household and two women in their late 30s, early 40s, squarely onto the shoulders of a 19-year-old when I actually did become their dom. That's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I don't know how to balance a checkbook at this point in my life. I've never had. Look, I was
Right.
making $16 an hour at a diesel shop in Memphis, Tennessee. I
Right.
had no fucking idea what I was doing. Absolutely none. And it did teach me kind of what I was doing wrong because they did help, in the beginning. But it's so much, you know. And on top of that, in a lot of these situations, especially you get into like suspension and stuff like that, like you're putting your life in the hands of your rigger, and your rigger's a 19-year-old diesel technician. You're I dropped a wrench on my face earlier with these hands. I don't know you know what I mean? It was
Right.
a lot. It was a lot. So I decided to join the Navy at 23. This is a pretty decent part of my life too, And at the time, I was living it up. I will not lie to you. That's basically every 19-year-old male's dream, you know.
Sure.
But there's consequences to everything, however good it might seem at the time.
Right.
You find those consequences in relationships later on in life.
Okay. Whoa. So, what coping mechanisms kept you alive during that time?
At the time, I didn't see anything as trauma. I mean, they beat the hell out of me. I'm not going to lie to you, but it was a little different. You know what I mean? Um, they were pretty extreme. We'll just kind of leave it at that. They were pretty extreme.
Okay. What did you finally square? When did you finally square up with your demons and not run?
I got married when I was 25, I think. 24 going into 25. That's whenever I kind of figured out like how I should have been able to kind of run a household, I guess. Like that responsibility was kind of more warranted there. I wasn't a child anymore.
Right.
And in order to like be that husband again, it was eye opening to say the least, but I'm not sure how to explain that one.
Any difficult challenges you've dealt
Yeah,
with?
it's not really. I didn't really have a coping mechanism. I had a come into Jesus moment. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like all of this is real now, and it's mine. It's not somebody else's dream. This is what I want.
Right.
So it was a lot of sit downs with my ex-wife. She ultimately left about halfway through my second deployment, I believe.
Okay. Sorry about that.
It was a mutual thing. She never signed up for the military. I did, so the lifestyle didn't fit well with her.
Okay. Um, what does rare is better than raw mean to you internally?
Rare versus raw.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for rare, I guess at least you cooked it a little bit, right?
Right. Okay.
Raw still needs preparation. It still needs things done to it. So once you get to rare, you're good. Good enough anyway. Good enough to keep living. That's day by day, one day at a
Good way
time.
to put it. It's a good way to put it. Voices of Veterans. Before the dream, what was your life looking like?
It's pretty bleak. I found, especially after when you have to sit down and kind of come to terms with the fact that I don't like I can't really work like I should be able to at 34.
Mhm.
I can still work. I'm still active. Try to be more active as things go on. But once those disabilities really set in, several of mine are physical. Most of them are mental. Actually, I'll take that back. They're about level now. I'm at 70, and 90% total. So the mix between both of those, like being this young and basically being like medically retired, is pretty fucked. You know, in today's society, men gain most of their worth through what they can provide and what they do provide.
Right.
So I needed something to, and that's where men find purpose also. I mean, it's not just a one-sided deal.
Right.
I mean, having to swallow that was pretty fucking rough. I didn't have a great time, but I needed to find a purpose, and I figured that out pretty quick. I have struggled with alcoholism for quite a while there, and had I continued down that road, I'd probably be even more disabled than I already am. So,
Okay.
Voices of Veterans gave me a purpose. It gave me a reason to like get out of this house. It gave me a reason to like do things instead of paying bills with my disability money and sitting here.
So would you say that that kind of it helps you back to that glory that you were mentioning earlier?
Saved my life.
Okay. Walk me through the dream and what did you see?
I was going through some withdrawals. I was hallucinating pretty heavy. I'd come off of some medication that I was taking, and I'd come off the alcohol at the same time. And I was also microdosing psychedelics medicinally, not for recreational use. And I already had a motorcycle, and I've had a motorcycle for most of my adult life, and I wanted to find a way to use that because wind therapy is a real thing. I find a lot of value in things that are difficult, and I really enjoy being outside. And it kind of all came to me at once in a really weird lucid dream that I'm not used to. I don't really dream very much, and if I do, I don't remember them typically. But I remember this one, and I was actually on the set of a podcast, my podcast, and I had my bike up on a stand over here somewhere, and I was sitting across from a desk like something off of Joe Rogan, and I was talking to a World War II veteran, and he was telling me a story, and that's where this whole thing came from.
Okay.
I don't know how much of the mushrooms that was, but I'm thankful for it either way.
Right. So why motorcycles?
I grew up on them. My dad raced motocross when I was a kid. I had two uncles in the Iron Horsemen out of Memphis, Tennessee. I have another uncle that raced drag motorcycles, not motocross, and I've been on them literally my whole life, like since I was a baby. There's a picture of me on my dad's Yamaha 450 when I was like 2. You know,
I'm a hot.
it's just,
If it ain't a Harley, it ain't a bike.
oh, no, it was a motocross. It's dirt bike.
Okay.
My dad rode motorcycles. He had a Sportster for a long time. He didn't get into the street bikes as much as I did, though. But I've had two Harleys, Honda, had a Yamaha 660. That was a little cafe style racer. I've just had them my whole life. It was the easiest, cheapest transportation you could get. It's the best thing you can get for fuel. It's the perfect thing for a poor boy in North Mississippi where, the riding season was 11 months long.
Right.
It was I wasn't the only one. Most of the people I grew up with, we were all on motorcycles.
Yeah, I grew up around them myself. My mom rode with the Iron Horsemen. What does riding up to a vet's home do for the energy of the interview?
I have to stop them and kind of explain that I'm not like super famous or anything because that's instantly what they go to. Because I mean, you got to think about it. This guy that you don't know just rode to 5.5 hours to your place, and I got some camera gear and I got a little microphone, a clip on them, and they're like, they always instantly lock up. And it's like, brother, I'm not famous. It's fine. I'm just trying to get your story out there. It's not crazy.
Right.
For me, it's terrifying. I'm not, because you never know. I've come up and I've gotten 10 minutes into an interview and found out this guy never fucking served at all.
Ugh.
And imagine if I put out a video about a guy that didn't serve.
Right.
What does that do for my credentials? What does that do to my reputation?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little different for me when I'm doing it. Because I speak from their truth. there's no way for me to check anything. Yeah, but I get what you're saying because I actually have had one of those interviews. Their mama and their wife had called me and was like, "It's fake," and I'm like, "Oh, so yeah."
I can tell pretty quick. With the stories, you can tell when the stories don't line up. I mean, I did this for a decade.
Right.
And I've been interviewing vets ever since. I mean, there ain't no time you've ever seen me pass up an opportunity, even in Walmart, to sit and talk to a vet. I don't give a shit. I always walk up and talk to them. So, I mean, but that happens. And I don't know, it's always terrifying. You tend to get settled in pretty quick. Anybody that did serve, I can tell the first thing, if I can't get comfortable there, that's whenever I start asking like very specific questions. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But typically, I don't know what it is, but we see each other. Like,
Okay.
dude, I could pick out a vet from a mile away. We don't need to wear these hats and all this bullshit. We really don't.
Right.
I can
Okay.
tell by the way you walk. I can tell by the way you hold yourself, how you stand, the things you say.
Yeah.
I don't even have to be talking to you. I can just be eavesdropping a little bit and hear some shit that's like, oh yeah, that guy served.
How did your buddy react when you pitched the idea? And I'm going to mute for a second, but go ahead and answer.
Um, so he didn't really want to do the whole interview thing. He's not really one for the camera per se. He's helped and he's rode with and stuff like that. Um, his bike's been down the last like 2 weeks though. He did go on the Houston trip with me to go see Heavenly Void. He's doing his own stuff on social media, but he is a part of this, and he always will be. I mean, I don't really ride with anybody else. I mean, there's a couple of I ride with the Texarkana chapter of the Pagans a little bit. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I'm not a prospector or hang around or nothing like that. But there are a lot of veterans in there, and they do a lot with, particularly AA around here.
Yeah.
So I do quite a bit of stuff with them.
Okay.
He's pretty against the club lifestyle, for obvious reasons. I mean, also, this chapter of the Pagans is nothing like New Jersey or New York or anywhere like that. They're not. They're really good guys typically. So.
Okay. So you're not with any club or any chapter?
Nope. We are an independent couple of motorcycle riders that decided they wanted to go hang out with veterans. No, he wants to go hang out with veterans, and I want to hear their stories. So it works out.
Okay. How did your dad's death pour into the project?
I have financially supported my father almost entirely since I was about 20, 24, 25, somewhere along in there, around the time I got married the first time. So there's always been that, I hate to call him a burden, but there's always been that financial responsibility there. And that limits what I could have done, what I've been able to do over all these years. My dad's been sick for years and years and years. I finally got him moved out here, and we got him into a camper, and it seemed like he was getting better, and then he fell, and he perforated his colon, and that ultimately killed him. And it happened. It happened in 12 days. He was up walking and getting better, and then he was not. Yeah. So it really showed me kind of my mortality, because I'm not in the best shape either. I mean, I've been in the hospital 3 times in the last 2 weeks for heart issues and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't continue to kind of sit here and put this off like, oh, maybe I'll start next month. Maybe I'll do this, later on in life or something. Right. It's like, it's not guaranteed that you're going to have a later.
Right. I get that. How did you know this could actually help people?
I didn't really know it would help people. I know that talking, I had a grasp on talking about your trauma helps. I had a grasp on that concept already. And when I started talking to people like other veterans about my story, I tended to feel a little better. It made me feel like that camaraderie was still there, and I wasn't alone. And I kept seeing people kept saying, "Oh yeah, dude, I know how you feel. Like I kind of went through the same thing." Like empathy was there.
Yeah.
And whenever I started wanting to, because I love to listen to the stories at the end of the day. Even as a kid, I've
Yeah.
always been fascinated by the military. Anybody that served, like I wanted to know what branch were you in? You can imagine like 6, 7 year old me running around in Sam's Club and see a guy with a veteran hat on because my father he explained to me what the hats were about. And I just wanted to talk to him. I wanted to hear all the old war stories. I watched the military channel religiously as a kid. And I feel like two and two just makes four.
Right.
If it made me feel better, maybe it'll make them feel better. And I tried it out, and I was doing digital interviews mostly. And at the end of them, they kept getting the same thing. It's like, fuck, man, I really needed to hear that. Like, I was in a bad place. Like, I needed to tell somebody that, was going to ask the questions that I asked,
Right.
you know?
Okay. What's one story that you've heard that has stuck with you the most?
Oh, Brian down there's got a couple of stories he won't tell me. Still after them stories, Brian. But I interviewed a Vietnam combat medic named Skipper. Robert Callender is his name. Um, he served in Nam, 2 years in Nam. He's a Purple Heart recipient. He was telling me a story about he actually 4 months before he was due to leave service, he said to hell with it, and him and his friend at the base, he had been sent home to recuperate. They were going to send him back for his last 4 months. Him and his friend jumped in his friend's car. He said it was a '56 Chevy Bel Air, and they hauled ass from Texarkana, Arkansas to California. And he lived 7 years in California as a window glazer. And he
Right.
started a family. And then the FBI showed up one day and picked him up as a deserter and brought him to Washington, D.C. and had him sign away his veterans benefits. And they turned him loose, sent him back home.
Oh my God.
That one stuck with me.
Wow. So did he ever he ever able to get him back?
He did. Ultimately, there was a very small group of a task force in the FBI that was going about using that to kind of make veterans. You can give up your VA benefits. You can absolutely do that. You can't give up your VA benefits under any type of duress.
Right.
So those contracts that he signed, he didn't end up getting his benefits until he was 75 years old.
Oh my
He's
God.
82 now, but he is 100% disabled. He has cancer caused by Agent Orange. So he did end up getting his benefits just a lot later because some task force in the FBI decided that they could kind of bully people into signing over their rights.
That's awful.
Some of it's kind of cool though. I mean, bragging out, going AWOL in a '56 Chevrolet Bel Air with your buddy to
Okay,
California.
that might be cool, but the
And this is
signing away
this is the '60s. I mean, California was great back then.
right. Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
some of it's a pretty cool story. It's definitely
Yeah.
definitely too specific to make up. I'll tell you that.
Somebody said it would make a good movie.
It would. I agree. It absolutely would. I told him that. But that interview is actually posted on my TikTok and on YouTube if y'all wanted to go watch it. He's a wild guy. he's,
Absolutely. I'll go watch it.
it's only 17 minutes long.
Okay. How do you hold space for everyone without absorbing their pain?
It's difficult. I think I often kind of overexert myself with it a little bit. You can only take on so much before it starts to like fuck with your life. I found that out pretty quick. Veterans Day this past go round, I was live for 12 and a half hours. I did a lot that day.
Yeah.
I was useless for the next 2 days. It was pretty.
So you were just there so people could come and talk to you?
I didn't record any of it. All of this was still basically brand new. I actually take it back. I recorded a couple of my friends, but people was just coming in, and it was all about telling the stories. People were in the comments telling stories. It was It's pretty wild.
Okay.
That was a difficult day.
So,
Veterans Day, Memorial Day, all those holidays are difficult for anybody that serves. So
okay.
those are the days you get the bad stories, you know.
He said it was insane. Oh, intense. My bad.
It was pretty
It's the
intense.
glasses. Sorry.
It was pretty intense.
Why is respect so much more important than pity?
I feel like pity takes away from what you did. I mean, especially I haven't had the opportunity to really get into that side of it with very many females, but from the male perspective, you know, respect is extremely important in the male psyche. Um, Pity is the fastest way to kill a man. I'm convinced of it. If I mean, you look at if you see somebody, a man on the side of the road missing his legs and he's homeless and whatnot, he wouldn't be there if people respected him and didn't pity him. That would change your perspective. You know,
Yeah.
first, you want to get a man to divorce you, stop respecting him. He'll leave.
You'll leave. Right.
He'll leave. You know, you can't. You can't. You know respect's important in and of itself. You add pity into that, like, oh, poor pitiful you. You just turn that man into a child.
Right.
Now he only sees himself as a child because apparently he's not worthy of respect and he's only worthy of being pitied. So you
Right.
get stuck.
Good point. Good point. Emotional and healing questions. So, do you see your younger self in the vets that you talk to?
No, I do see myself in some of the stories. I had some pretty wild times too. Um, I see a lot of the veterans I see, and it's like, fuck, I want to be as good as that guy one day.
Right.
I see that. I think that a lot.
Okay. Yeah, it's gotta be hard. It's definitely gotta be hard. Um, why do their stories calm you instead of triggering you?
For the same reason that telling their stories calms them. I mean, it really makes me feel like, you know, I'm understanding too. You know, they're telling me this story, and it's like, fuck, dude, I know that feeling. You know, I've
Yeah.
seen that place. I've been here. I've been there. I know what that feels like. You know, and it's not like a whole. I try not to do too much with empathy exactly because I know that your service is your service, and there's no way that I could have felt exactly how you felt at the time.
Right.
You might be braver than me. You might be, you know, you never know.
Right.
But I know what I felt like in that situation, and that brings some camaraderie.
Okay. How do you stay grounded after like a really heavy interview?
Ah, shit. I was drinking. that's
Okay.
a
And now?
that's a pretty bad road. I've more camaraderie, but more in person stuff. I don't do this. I tell my story
Right.
more. So I go to AA religiously. There's a lot of vets in there that I talk to every single day. Um, that's kind of my grounding right now. Is I'm doing the same thing, just different. I'm still. It's like somebody else is interviewing me. You know what I
Okay. That's a good point. Yeah. What's one thing you learned about humanity through this project?
mean? Most people are good. Not all people though.
No, they're not.
But
What
I
does
do honestly believe that most people are good.
what does peace look like to you?
Mm. 80 mile an hour behind a set of chrome handlebars sounds pretty peaceful for me right now.
Nothing more freer than a bike. Sorry.
Agreed.
Um, what do you think vets are really asking for beneath their words?
Well, you know, the VFW is currently asking themselves that question right now. For those of y'all that don't know, the VFW is Veterans of Foreign Wars. It's a it's an organization that does a lot of charity work. They do a lot of work with veterans advocacy. They also have bars for veterans to go and hang out in. Now, in past wars, that was something that was attractive to you know, men my age. somewhere between
Right.
25 and 35. That's what they did. That's what men
Right.
did back then. Times are changing. My
Yes.
generation of veterans spent their entire fucking career drinking, and most of us are trying to get sober. I see it. I hear about it. I see it. It's a thing. Not all of us, but a huge majority
Right.
are getting off the bottle. The last place we're trying to hang out at is a fucking square dancing bar because that shit hasn't been popular since the 90s anyway. I was born in 91.
Right.
You know? And they're asking, well, why isn't the GWAT generation trying to go to the VFW? Well, there's a few reasons. One of them is nobody wants to sit in a fucking bar and drink themselves into. You're picking at a scab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this isn't healing. If you wanted veterans of my generation to get involved with something, turn those fucking bars into a gym.
Okay.
Have a fucking car show, a motorcycle show. We're all over the place on
Yeah.
motorcycles. I mean, you see it every day scrolling through TikTok. Well, I do anyway. Most of my feed is some fucking veteran on a Harley. You know what I mean? Doing the
Right.
same shit that I'm doing, just no interviews.
Right. Yeah.
It's like that type of shit, but they won't listen. You know.
Yeah. I get it.
Mama,
Purpose and legacy.
Mama, I don't.
Just a second. What do you hope this project becomes?
I want to interview a million veterans. That's my goal. I want to interview a million veterans. And I want to post them all over the internet because I don't ever want a veteran to sit at home and watch one of those TV specials on Veterans Day and see how some other guy got to talk about what he did when he was overseas and nobody ever asked him what he did.
Right.
There's you can go through every interview on YouTube and you wouldn't equal every TV special you used to see on Memorial Day on the History Channel and shit, and you probably wouldn't equal a Megan. But I want to interview a Megan.
So what number are you at now?
37.
Okay. What message?
Long way to go. Thank you. I'm hoping to add some people to this, so I'm not the only one doing the interviews. But
what message do you have for veterans who feel silenced?
Brother, find somebody and talk. Call somebody. The only thing silence will teach you, as far as like what we do, the only thing silence is going to teach you is what another caliber tastes like. That's not where we're trying to be. If we sit in silence, nothing will ever change. None of this will ever get better.
Right.
We'll just be sitting. We'll be rolling around in circles. That's not where we're trying.
Yeah.
That's not what we're trying to do.
If you could speak to the version of yourself before all the trauma, what would you say?
Don't fucking drink.
Sorry, I had that puzzle piece.
Do I have to say something to him, or can I hit the little bastard? I'd rather hit him.
You can hit him if you want to.
He needs it. He needs somebody to hit him.
Okay. All right. Don't fucking drink. What legacy do you want your voice to leave?
Everyone, I want to leave the legacy of those million veterans. I want people to see that. That's the whole point, is to preserve.
So you want them to be seen.
Yeah, I want them to be seen. I want them to be heard, because just imagine how many World War II veterans lived their life and passed, and their name might be inscribed on a wall somewhere and nothing else.
Right.
Generation. It would literally be a miracle for me to find a World War II veteran that was coherent enough to give me consent to post an interview. It would be they're so rare. The next generation we lose is Korea and Vietnam. It's like those are the veterans that are still here with us, and I don't want them to wind up just being some fucking name on a wall that nobody ever thinks about.
Yeah.
Or, oh, that was Papa, or that was great Papa, or whatever.
Right.
I want their stories to be out there, and I want their family, the next generation of their family. I want them to see their stories.
That's because I think that's my goal too. I want people to feel and see that they're just not alone out here. Yeah, for sure. That was the last question. Is there anything else you want to add?
No. If anybody's waiting on me to post more interviews, I'm currently struggling with editing. Any tips, please DM me. uh, I'm not the best with computers. I'm pretty computer savvy, but this editing thing is pretty wild. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
other than that, just follow and hang on tight because we're going somewhere soon. It was 60 degrees today, so um, see what happens.
Just give me. I'm gonna do the outro. I got some resources. Thank you for listening to another chapter of The Power of One Voice. My guest tonight showed us courage, what courage looks like, and when to stop hiding. Stand in your truth and use your pain to bridge instead of fall. If you're a veteran watching this, your story matters, your voice matters, and you don't have to carry it alone. He's got you. This is Rare Soul. One voice can change everything. Until next time, be safe, be honest, and be gentle with yourself. And always remember to stay rare. Veterans Crisis Line 988 and press 1. The VAMST support. Vet Centers, free. It's free and confidential. Wounded Warrior Project, the National Center for PTSD, local veterans peer groups, and your own Voices of Veterans links. So you guys follow him. If we have any veterans in the comments, please follow him. Gonna black out.